Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. And this lesson is going to be, don't be in that Tommy DeVito spirit. Don't be in that Tommy DeVito spirit. Okay, and this is Tommy DeVito from Goodfellas, and I'm gonna play this scene, to show you how he thinks. You know, he has a very he's very sensitive, okay, to the things that people say about him. So let's go ahead and play this.
Pow, ping, oh, fuck is... Gee, I wish I was big just once. You're the big cops.
Really funny. Really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
It's funny, it's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What?
It's just, you're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You're right.
Funny how? What?
Just, you're funny.
You mean,
So?
well, let me understand this, because maybe it's me, I'm a little fucked up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
No, just, how you tell the story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him. You stuttering prick, yeah. Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is it with you? I thought I was getting pinched over here. He's hanging on my fucking neck like a vulture, like a pending danger. What do you want?
This guy's worried about you. He didn't want to come over and give the check,
The waiter?
You could take care of this shit.
Yes, no problem. Tell him to put it on my tab. Of course.
That's what I want to talk to you about. It ain't just this here. It's 7 fucking big ones here. 7 fucking G's you owe me here. $7,000, I mean, ain't peanuts. I don't mean to be out of order or nothing.
You don't mean to be out of order? Jeez, it's good you don't mean to be out of order, son. You call embarrassing me in front of my friends, like calling me a fucking deadbeat, Sonny, you're a real fucking mutt. You know the money we spend in this fucking...
About? Come on, don't be like that.
What do you mean don't be like that? Look at this prick. You think this is funny, huh? He's having... What the fuck are you looking at? You fucking moron. You don't want to bring the check, huh? You fucking... You believe this prick?
So, that's Tommy DeVito. And one thing about him is he has a fragile ego. He's very emotional when it comes to what people think about him. And this is where you get the term short man syndrome or the Napoleon complex, right? Because Tommy DeVito is a short individual, right? He's not tall. He's very short, and that also is part of his character, that he has a very insecure, fragile ego. And you got brothers that are in this truth with that same type of spirit, which are coming from this world. And Jake is broken down, and Jake has particular insecurities in the world, and whatever the case may be, maybe was not accepted, or got made fun of, had certain insecurities in the world. But when you come into the truth, those things are supposed to be wiped away. You're not supposed to come with that energy, that Tommy DeVito energy where everything a brother says offends you, or you got to think about it, or what did you say, and you got to everything you say, you got to think about, how did I say it? You're replaying the scene in your head, and how did I really say it? How did I sound to them? Do they think I'm stupid? that all comes from insecurities. And I'm going to show you that. And you don't have to be short to have insecurities, man. You could be super tall. You could be super good looking and have a whole bunch of insecurities. Many people do. Okay? Especially good looking women. Good looking women have all kind of insecurities because growing up they had a bunch of women that were jealous of them and try to bring their self-esteem down. So those are some of the most insecure women is the beautiful women. Okay? So anyways, I want to start with Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, in the 9th verse. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" So the heart is deceitful, right? So the things that you're thinking in your mind, those things are deceiving you. Okay? It says, "I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins." You see, the Most High, the Heavenly Father, knows people's heart. Okay? He knows people's heart. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the spiritual power of Yahweh Shai to read minds, right? So a lot of the things you think that a brother thinks of you, or how do brothers look at me? Do they look at me as a little guy? Do they look at me as a piece of shit? Whatever, because of something I did when I was drunk or whatever, any situation. I'm just putting random situations out there, and a lot of those things are in your head. A lot of those things are not the truth. A lot of those things are in your head, and it's demons that are working on your mind. Okay, so you have to become more strong-minded to let things roll off of your back. Okay, and when judgment is coming down, or when you're being rebuked, it's not the time to go tit for tat. Oh, you did this, and you did. It's not time to go tit for tat. When the spirit is on you, well, guess what? The spirit is on you. It's not about man at that point. It's time for you to reflect on yourself. Not that, oh, well, this brother did this or that brother. It's not the time for that. Or it didn't exactly go down like that. No, when it's not the time for that. Okay? Because it's the spirit honing in on you. All right? It says, "I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins." Okay? Even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing. So if a brother's being wicked and dealing with you wickedly, well, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, don't you think he sees it? Don't you think the Most High and Yahweh Shai see it? Of course they see it. You think they'll be okay if you're being abused or whatever? No. That's why the scriptures speak about long suffering. That's why the scriptures speak about long suffering. But most of the things that you're thinking about, when it comes, oh, how did the brother said it like this? I don't like the way the brother said it. It's just in your own head. It's your own insecurities. It's the demons playing on your mind. Okay? Because you have certain brothers that are more rough than others, certain brothers that are more abrupt, more straightforward, and then you have certain brothers that are more soft-spoken, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I try my hardest to be soft-spoken. I'm more of a straightforward, kind of rougher brother, but I try my hardest to be soft-spoken, which is really fighting against how my spirit is. But I do that so that I try not to offend brothers, and brothers will still get offended. Because at the end of the day, brothers, demons play on brothers' mind, Tell a brother something roughly, and they're not used to that in the world. In the world that looks like, oh, you trying to sun me, you trying to sun me. How am I funny? You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. Well, guess what? Part of being a man is not being so easily emotional. Okay, so let's look up this word deceitful. Okay, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Okay, this is the word deceitful. Okay, it says deceitful, sly, insidious. Okay, deceitful, sly, insidious, slippery, foot track, steep, hilly. Okay, so your mind is trapping you up. Your mind is trapping you up in your thoughts. Okay, and that's why sometimes you're too much in your thoughts. Specifically about situations and things being said, and when it's not even that deep. It's not even that deep. And I'm gonna go into some of these characteristics of insecurity as well. Now this is Sirach 3 and 24. It says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion." Okay. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 23. It says, "Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment." See, because your own mind, your own thoughts can overthrow your own judgment. You know, something, it could be a simple situation. A brother did a innocent joke, and you're playing that joke in your mind. Oh, nah, he was saying this and that, and it's really just like an innocent joke. Yahweh Shai joked with the apostle, with the disciples at that time. So ye sons of thunder. What if they would have got offended at that? You got to be able to discern. And of course there's a balance of, you don't, when you make a joke, you don't, first of all, you don't, there's, you don't overdo it, and then you don't joke on brothers' insecurities, on certain things that is like, yo, like, come on, bro, brother cross-eyed, yo, you cross-eyed, brother, if you got to have some type of tact, you gotta have some type of tact, because I joke with brother. I'm the type of brother that'll joke with brothers, but you gotta have tact, have judgment. If not, then don't joke. All right. If you don't know, right? So, but ultimately, it's the evil suspicion that hath overthrown their judgment. And let's go to let's read this in the GNT. This is Sirach 3 and 24. It says, "Many people have been misled by their own opinions. Their wrong ideas have wrapped their judgment." It's your own wrong ideas and mindset that's messing your brain up. Okay? It's not that serious. It's rarely that serious. You know? You know what I'm saying? Oh, brothers think I'm this, brothers think I'm that. No, if a brother's a true brother, brother's giving you the benefit of the doubt. Brothers are giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because we would want people to give us the benefit of the doubt. But if there is an issue, brothers should bring it up immediately. Immediately. That's how you stomp things out. When you see something's an issue, you bring it up immediately. Okay? That's what I do. That's what I try to do with brothers. I bring it up immediately. Okay? Don't wait for 2 months to go by and you think there's tension or whatever, Listen, just bring it up immediately. Or else it's not that serious. Okay? Let me go over to, matter of fact, let me build on that, what I just said. This is Matthew 18 and 15. It says, "Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother." And don't come to me with no bullshit, Salaki, about oh, you said that kind of rough to me and hurt my feelings. I don't want to hear none of that shit. All right, because you gotta get over yourself. You gotta stop being a little. You gotta grow up, man. You gotta grow up too. Okay, men speak differently. Men are gonna speak. Some men, like I said, speak rougher than others, man. See, that's you being in your head. Think your brothers look at you as some type of pussy or something. Listen, if you're in this truth, you're not a pussy. If you stay in this truth to the end, you prove you're not a pussy. You prove you're the strongest men on the planet Earth. That's what you prove when you stay in this truth. Okay, when you stay in this truth until the end, you proved yourself. We all proved ourselves if we stay to the end, right? That we are the strongest men in the spirit than any men on the planet Earth. Yahweh Shai proved he was the strongest spirit, right? By going through what he went through, because only he was worthy to wear those shoes. John the Baptist said, "I'm not worthy to put on his shoes," because nobody could have went through what Yahweh Shai went through. We don't even know the half of what Yahweh Shai went through. We don't even know 10% of what Yahweh Shai went through. We just know the Gospels. We don't understand the inner thoughts, the demons on every occasion. Satan tempting him on every occasion. We don't know. We only know a minute bit about what Yahweh Shai went through. Okay? Which one of you have sweat blood before? Hmm? Right. In a time where people were eating good food, when a time where people were eating pure whole foods, they weren't their body wasn't they weren't eating this trash we were eating, where our bodies are weak. Their bodies were strong, and he was still sweating blood. So let that sink in, you know. Right. So you stand to this truth unto the end. That proves you're a man. The only real men are the men in this truth. The only real men on the planet are the men in this truth. Not Joe Pesci, not DeVito, not the mobsters, not the gangsters, none of these dudes. Only real men on the planet Earth, not the UFC fighters. The only real men on the planet Earth are the men of the Lord. That's it. Those are the top men. And it's gonna show and prove when all hell breaks loose. Okay? And that's how brothers look at other brothers. Okay, that's how brothers look at other brothers. There's just order in this thing. That's all. There's just order. Okay? Now let me go into some of these characteristics of low self-esteem or insecurity. You know, insecurity. It says self-doubt. Okay, you're doubting yourself. Fear of judgment. Okay? Constantly questioning value, decisions, abilities, or appearance. Oh, no, that's going to self-doubt. But fear of judgment. Worrying too much about what others think. You can't constantly think about it because you can't change yet. You can only change yourself. Reading negative meaning into small comments or actions. Reading negative meaning into small comments or actions. That's Tommy DeVito, man. Every little thing that said, he's reading into it. Okay? And so, and some of them dudes was being disrespectful, but when you're in this truth, brothers ain't intentionally being disrespectful to you, and not even in that case. In that case, that scene, none of those people were trying to be disrespectful to him, but his emotions were running here and there and here and there because he was all too concerned with what people think and reading into things too damn much, and that's a headache, man. Dealing with that nonsense. Oh, this happened now. You listen, bringing up little. Listen, man. Listen, man. When the spirit is on you, it's not time to be doing tit for tat. Okay? Not time to be doing tit for tat. All right? So it's overthinking, running scenarios in your head repeatedly. Did I say something wrong? What they think of? Hey, I've done that. I've done that multiple times. You do that all the time in my life. I still do that sometimes, right? But then I rebuke myself. I'm like, this is a fuck, right? Because it's all BS. We're coming from this world, and the toxicity of this world we have to wash out. And then you feel like a little guy, so you try to make yourself bigger, right? And then you try to make yourself bigger, and then what? And then you might get knocked down to size. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Comparisons of others, comparing yourself to other people, which you shouldn't be doing. But some brothers fight with different things. You're not supposed to be comparing yourself to brothers. Okay? Seeking validation. Okay? Avoidance or withdrawal. Avoiding social situations, so on and so forth. Hey, maybe brothers may withdraw themselves from brothers because they feel inadequate. Excuse me. They feel inadequate. That's off. Okay, that's off. All right. Perfectionism, emotional reactivity. That's Tommy DeVito. Emotional reactivity. You don't want to be reactive. Okay? You don't want to be reactive. Okay? Right? What was said about John the Baptist? Let's read this. This is Matthew 11:7. It says, "And as they departed, Yahweh Shai began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out unto the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? That means you went to see some soft guy that was just the wind just blows him to and fro. Well, you can look at your emotions blowing you through and fro as somebody that's shaking it, that's shaking in the a reed shaking in the wind. If your emotions is drawing you here and there, you're like a reed shaking in the wind. You're too soft. You may have a hard body. You may know how to fight. You may be a UFC star, but you're soft. And that's a lot of these dudes, these top fighters, these boxers, they're emotionally soft. And that's why they become fighters, because they're always fighting because their emotions was drawing them to and fro. A man say something about it, they go punch him in the face. And he didn't even mean it like that, or it was light, or something he could have talked about. A lot of these fighters are really soft. They have little emotional control. And sometimes fighters use that against them by trying to do certain things that'll get them angry, or say certain things that get them angry, and then they lose their head in the fight. You can't lose your head in this fight. This fight here that we're fighting, this is a fight that if you lose yourself in this fight, Satan will take you and bring you to a dark place. You understand what I'm saying? Satan will take you and draw you into a dark place that you can't come back from, man. Okay? So you make sure you got your head in check. Don't be in that Tommy DeVito spirit. What did he say about me? What do they think about me? You can't change what people think about you, man. And brothers, if they're true brothers, they don't think negatively of you, or they'll bring it to you, or you'll know what wagwan. You'll know the problem if it's that serious. If it's that serious, you'll know the problem. And older brothers may be watching you for a bit or whatever the case, but eventually you're gonna know what's up. You see? And it's up to you to change that. And it's not time to go tit for tat when brothers is bringing, the spirit is on you, because the spirit of the Lord that's on you, that's targeting you. So anyways, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Salaki, if you didn't see the other screen with the notes, because I was reading, the insecurity notes. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I'll say shalom.